Okay, so recording has been started. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible to everyone? Please write in the chat box if PDF is visible. Please also write in the chat box. Okay. So let us start. So in the previous lecture, we had discussed about the various phases of our data analytics life cycle. So these for the summary. These phases are discovery. Inside the discovery phase, basically we'll perform the various operation uh, that is required to discover the data, to find out the sources of the data, to find out the infrastructure, technologies, what are the stakeholders concerned about the data analytics. Next phase is the data preparation. So basically, we'll apply processes and model to make our data from source to target oriented so that we can perform data analytics on particular data. Next, we had discussed about the model planning. So, in the model planning phase, we'll find out the methods, technique, workflow, and in this phase, stakeholders build the framework. Uh, Data analytics team explore the data to learn about the relationship between variables, and basically, business problem is clearly emphasized. Next phase is model building. So in model building, we develop the data set for testing and training. We build and execute model based on the work done in the model planning phase. Consider whether its existing tool will suffice for learning the model. So we'll basically prepare our model to work to execute. We'll provide the data to our model. We'll prepare our tools and techniques to perform the model execution. Result communication is basically involving all stakeholders to build a data-driven organization. So, whatever the result you are going to generate from your data analytics project, that result must be uh, satisfied all the stakeholders, because if your organization has different departments, so every department has a different priority from data analytics. So you have to make sure that all departments requirement must be satisfied with the communication of the result. And the last phase is operationalization. So basically, we'll deal with the reports, briefing, code, documentation, and we'll deal with the project team documentation, functional specification, data flow diagram, data architecture model, and so on. So, in the last previous lecture, we had discussed about the various phases of data analytics lifecycle. Let us discuss about the data models, because we have discussed about the how to create a data model and what is the purpose of data model. Now we'll discuss about few examples of the data models. So, what is a data model? So, basically, from each phases of the data life cycle and successful metrics defined for the project, the stakeholders should wisely select the tools and technique required for big data analytics platform deployment. So, basically, you have to select the tools and technique from every phases of data life cycle. So, this is a requirement of the data model. Building data maturity models in the organization require building the trust in the organization. So basically, trust of the organization means that whatever the information you are processing within the organization, and whatever the output and effect of that information in the organization, that must be correlated between various departments of the organization, so that uh, every department can work and provide their effective support in the growth of the organization. It is all will be done due to the trust between the department of the organization. So when you are building a data model, you have to be make sure that all the organization will have a trust factor, and it is the foundation for success of the data analytics project. Okay. No. So our first model of data lifecycle can be a data aware. So this is not a model. This is basically a type of model you can select for your data analytics project. So data aware model, basically this data model create Excel spreadsheet from various legacy systems and compile it from meeting the reporting. So basically whatever the reporting, whatever the outcome within the organization that you have the uh, get from various events of the organization, these reporting, these data will be stored inside the organization, whether it is stored in a Excel spreadsheet or whether it is stored in their repository system. You can fetch those information to create a data aware model. The data analytics are scattered across the organization with several BI, and the objective of the organization, this model is to deliver a standardized reporting. So basically, data analytics will focus here about the business intelligence. What is the business requirement? What are the resources of the businesses? And the complete objective of data aware model to create a report as for the organization. So basically, what is happening within the organization? What are the profits and product status of the organization? What are the services offered by the organization? At the other stakeholders, will talk about the customer, then how customer is uh, accepting the output of businesses like a product and services. What are the expectation from the customer? So all these data should be collected as we have already discussed, and these data it will be stored and processed inside the data aware model. So when you apply a data analytics project using the data aware model for any organization, you will find out that you are generating reports for the organization. Our next model can be a data proficient. So the businesses and the information technology, the businesses and the information technology units align with each other to build a prototype initiative for the data analytics platform. So basically, whatever the businesses and whatever the information technology tool you will use, that will be applied here to make a data proficient model. Uh, Data Analytics Competency Center will expand the capabilities to leverage both structured and unstructured data to create innovative solution for the organization through the prototyping solution. So basically, here we talk about the structured and unstructured data. For example, if you are having structured data, means you are having a database and you having some form linked to it, are you having some way to collect the data to your database? So that database is called a structured data. So here you are having let us for example, if you're having e-commerce website, so you can have a product name, product sell count, product sell price, average like by the customer, average sell per month, per week, per year. And unstructured data is basically the data which is collected not in the form of predefined form. So basic example of unstructured data is your feedback from the customer. So suppose you have collected the feedback from the customer, so it is an unstructured data. So you can't store the data inside you can't store data inside your database. One moment, guys. Sorry for interruption. So basically, in a data proficient model, we'll apply the capability on the structure and structured data and provide evaluative solution for organizations through prototyping solution. So basically, data proficiency is more dealing with the data, how you are collecting the data from the customer, how you are collecting the information from various sources from the organization, and so on. Next model can be a data savvy model. So in data savvy model, organization have already started leveraging the value from the data, and the values become the input to support executive decision support system of the organization. So basically, organization will take the value and data uh, as an input to support the executive decision support system. So suppose you have a decision support system within your organization, and you want to make it more beneficial for the organization. So you will take the data as an input to provide to take a decision. So in our life, when we are we want to buy some product on the online platform, so we'll have data in the form of average rating of the product, feedback from the user, and so on. So we in our previous decision system, we'll input this data set and get out some decision which is beneficial to us and beneficial to the organization. Stakeholder start to focus on several other initiatives to enrich the business's capability by solving the problem through data warehouses, data lakes, statistical framework, data mining, predictive analysis, and text mining. So basically, you will use this technology which will related to statistical framework, data mining, predictive analytics, and text mining on day-to-day basis, and you will provide support to a decision-making system within the organization. Data-driven model. So we have already discussed about the data-driven model. So in a data-driven model, organization will make decision through the data, and none of the decisions are not taken without the data. So in the data-driven model, data play a key important role, and you can see that some organization will only take the decision based on the data. For example, e-commerce platform, they will heavily rely on the data. What are the expectations from the customer, average demand of the product, average demand of some services, and based on that, they will expand their inventory, they will scale their logistics services, and so on. So data study expand globally as a scalable solution to meet all the regions. Machine learning is heavily leveraged in all businesses processes. So in data-driven model, you have to apply the machine learning in all the processes of the business, whether it is a logistic solution, whether it is a order processing, whether it is a recommendation to the customer, whether it is collecting the customer feedback, and so on. And all the business and technology units of the organization leverage the forecasting model and perform the analysis from the social media sentiment. So basically, you will also deal with the social media sentiment, where you will create a form to take the users' comment, user feedback, or you can go to the online social media platform and you can extract the content which is related to your product, your services, or your organization. And based on the content, you will apply the NLT techniques, NLT tools, and you will find out some useful information from that. So basically, data-driven model is more about the data, how we are processing the data. So it will involve uses of various NLP and machine learning technologies. In the last data life cycle, defined analytics process best practices spanning discovery to project completion. Life cycle draws from established method in the realm of data analytics decision science, and synthesis were developed after gathering input from data scientists and consulting established approaches that provide input on piece of the process. So this is basically few points related to data analytics life cycle. Let us discuss a more point. The scientific method in use for centuries still provide a solid framework for thinking about and deconstructing problem into their principal parts. One of the most valuable ideas of the scientific method relate to forming hypotheses and finding ways to test the idea. So scientific method plays an important role in the data analytics project. So basically, we'll discuss about how what is hypothesis and how we are finding any solution for any idea in our upcoming lectures. But for a brief introduction, hypothesis is basically some assumption we'll take on a data set and we'll prove our hypothesis and we'll conclude some ideas. Chris and DM, these are some real-time data model. Chris and DM provide useful input on ways to frame analytics problem and is popular approach for data mining. So you can refer this model for further reference. Data framework. Data frame offers an approach for data analytics project including context of the organization skills, data set, and leadership engagement. Third model is applied information economics. So it will provide a framework for measuring intangible and guides on developing decision model, calibrating expert estimate, and deriving the expected value of information. So basically, this model is related to the decision making model. It will based on the values. It will provide the expert estimation of your organization. MAT scale offer input for several techniques mentioned in focus on the model planning, execution, and key finding. So basically, this is about our data life cycle, and these are the reference we I have referred from the internet, and you can also suggested to refer these references. Okay, so any question, any doubt till now, guys? Because we are starting our second unit. You can post your doubt in the chat box. Okay, for uh, revision, what is operationalization in data analytics life cycle? So please write in the chat box what is operationalization in data analytics life cycle. What is operationalization in data analytics life cycle? I am expecting one or two response from your side. At least one response, one or two response from your side, and then we'll start our unit second, first topic, that is regression modeling. Am I audible to everyone? Please write one or two points about this in the chat box. Am I audible, everyone? Okay, one response from the use the result from the sandbox if you want to deploy the data. Okay, good. One more response at least. Okay, so I will add one more point. I will also talk about the report. What is our final report, and what is the outcome of our data analytics project? Okay, so let us start our Unit 2 first topic, that is a regression modeling. Okay, okay, more responses from your side. It's okay, good. Okay, so what is a regression modeling? So basically, when we'll deal with the data, we'll have to find out some output. So suppose we have data related to do few things. One thing, we can classify the patient into different diseases, or classify patient into different categories based on the diseases. And the second thing, we can predict, or we can try to possibly make a prediction where we'll predict that some disease is going to be more fatal for upcoming time. So based on that, we'll perform some prediction or we'll perform some classification. So regression modeling is related to some approach where we're trying to find out the relation between the variables. So when we'll talk about some variables, let us you have some input, some symptoms information for a medical disease patient, and based on the information, you will find out some output that particular patient is suffering from disease. So here variables will be your symptoms, and whatever the output will be your disease. So basically, in a regression modeling, we'll find out the mathematical formula relationship between the variable, so that used to estimate, interpolate, and extrapolate. So what is interpolation? So it is the process of estimating unknown values that fall between known values. So suppose you have few symptoms, and based on that symptom, you will predict some disease, and that disease will be predicted based on the previous data uh, that you have recorded from a previous history of the patients. Extrapolation is a way to make guesses about the future or about some hypothetical situation based on the data that you already know. You are basically taking your best guess. So basically, what we are trying to do here, we are developing our model where the model is basically following the regression model, and from the previous data, from the historical data, it will learn some information, and based on that information, it will predict the outcome for the new data, or we can say the provided data. Okay, so in regression model, we want to estimate the weight of individuals, and which is influenced by height, diet, workout. So basically, in this example, we want to find out the weight of some individual person, and we do not have exact data regarding the weight of the individual, but we have the data related to their height, their diet, their workout routine, and so on. So based on that data, if we are trying to predict the weight of an individual, then in this case, a weight is known as a predicted variable, and the height, diet, workout are predictor variables. So, if you take a disease example, so here the symptoms will be symptoms of the patient will be our predictor variables, and the disease and the final outcome of the symptoms disease will be taken as a predicted variable. So the predicted variable is a dependent variable in the sense that it depends on predictors. So as you know that weight is a predicted variable and it is dependent on the predictor variable like height, diet and workout. So suppose a person who has a more height compared to other person, so it is tend to that he or she will have a more weight. If some person is taking a more diet compared to other person, then the person is more prone to the weight gain. If a person is not doing a proper workout in their daily life routine, so again it will indicate that person has more weight compared to others. So you can see that every variable here, every predictor variable is responsible for a predicted variable. So weight is a predicted variable, and your height, diet, workout are predicted variable. So predictor are also called as an independent variable. So sometimes you can call the predictor variable like as an independent variable like a height, diet, and workout. So when we talk about the height, so how height is independent to diet. Some person has a very much good height and some person have a less height compared to that. So it does not provide that both have a higher height person has a higher diet and less height person has a less diet. So maybe possible that the person is taking more diet who has a less height. So there may be may not be possibility that both person have a same diet or both person have a different diet based on the diet. So there can be a linear relationship between, and there may not be a linear relationship between the variables. Regression reveals to what extent the predicted variable is affected by the predictors. So when you are performing the regression on the weight and height, diet, and workout, you will find out that in a regression, you will find out that your that is your predicted variable, in what extent that weight is dependent on the height, diet, and workout, or what is the relationship between the weight of a person to their height, to their diet, and to their workout routine. What amount of variation in predictors will result in variation of predicted variable? Now, what will you do? We'll change the height, we'll change the diet of the person, we'll change the workout routine of the person, and based on that, we'll find out that what is the effect on the weight of the person. So, suppose you are collected more than 100%, or you have collected sample of data from persons, and based on that data you will find out that some particular height, diet and workout is related to some height, and some other variation in the height and diet workout is related resulted into the different weight of a person. So based on that you can perform some statistical analysis, and you will find out some amount of variation, what is the variation in the weight based on the height, diet, and workout. So predicted variable is mathematically represented as y, and the predicted variable are represented as x1, x2, x3. Here we can represent our height, diet, and workout as x1, x2, and x3, and our weight can be represented as a y. This mathematical relationship is called the regression model. So when you find out what is the relationship between the x1, x2, and x3, and y, where x1, x2, x3 is your predictor variable and is representing to the x1 is representing to the height, x2 is representing to the diet, x3 is representing to the workout routine, and your y is a predicted variable and that is representing to the weight. So we'll find out the relationship between them, and that particular relationship is derived using the regression model. So regression is a branch of statistics. There are many types of regression. Regression is commonly used for prediction and forecasting. So it's a branch of statistics. So statistics basically when we'll deal with the data, when we'll deal with the relationship between the various variables, various data, and will apply some statistical technique to find out some meaningful information from those data, and regression is a branch of that statistics. So in a regression modeling, basically we are trying to predict, we are trying to forecast something based on the relationship between the height and weight of the data. So in a previous example, if suppose we have some information, we have information about a height, information about the weight, information about the workout routine of a particular person. So based on that information, we can predict that what will be the weight of that person based on the regression model. So there are many types of regression model. So we'll try to study one of them. So how do we perform the regression analysis in the regression model? So what are the process for performing the regression analysis? So first, we will select a suitable predicted variable with acceptable measurement quality, such as reliability and validity. So we have to select a suitable predicted variable. So in our earlier example, we have taken the weight as a predicted variable. You can take any type of example, any type of scenario where you can define a predicted variable. But your predicted variable must be in acceptable measurement qualities, such as reliability and validity. So whatever you're predicting, that should be measurable, that should have a reliable measurement, and that should be valid, should be have a valid quantity, valid unity. Based on the predicted variable, in the next page, you will select the predictors. Predictors in the previous example, it was height, workout, and diet. So if you are taking an example, you can select the predictor. A single predictor can be called as a bivariate analysis, and anything more than single predictor will called a multivariate analysis. So suppose you are trying to predict weight of a person based on the height only. You have only height, and you want to, based on the height, you want to predict the weight of a person. That will called a bivariate analysis. And if you are trying to predict the weight of a person based on the height, diet, and workout routine, then that is called a multivariate analysis. So after that, you have to collect sufficient number of data points. You have to collect a large number of information from various persons, and based on that information you will perform your regression modeling. If you're not having a sufficient number of data points, then your model will not perform well for prediction. Use a suitable estimation technique to arrive at the mathematical formula between predicted and predicted variables. So in this phase, what we'll try to do, we'll try to find out what is the relationship between the predictor and predicted variable. So in a previous example, if you find out that weight is dependent on a height, diet, and workout. So how can you find out the relationship between the height, diet, and workout to the weight? And here comes the statistical analysis. You will perform some regression model here and trying to find out the mathematical formula between the height, diet, and workout to your weight. No model is perfect, so you have to provide some error bounds that how much error in your model you are going to accept, and what are the error technique you are going to apply in your model. Assess the model stability by applying it to different samples of the same population. After you have created your model, regression model, then you have to check the validity of your model by taking the various sample from the persons to person, and based on the sample, you can check your validity of your model, stability of your model. When predictor variables are given for a new data point, estimate the predicted variable. So, when you are provided a new predictor variable, for example, you have provided a weight and height and height, diet, and workout routine of a person, then how can you predict? You have to predict the weight of that person. You have to also perform the model cross validation. Here, you will check that the model accuracy should not decrease with the given data set. Okay, we'll discuss the least square in the next class. My question is that we had discussed about example of weight, height, and diet and workout. Just use in the chat box and write a example using this approach and define a predictors and a predicted variable. So you have to define a predictors like this and a predicted variable. You can take any problem here, and you can write the problem name and the predicted variable and the predictor variables. Okay, so I'm writing in the chat box. Please uh, write the predicted variable and variable for any selected problem. Okay, so please write in the chat box. Any questions from your side? Adit, any question? So take any problem. We have taken the height and weight, and we also discussed about the disease prediction. Disease predictor can be your symptoms like your fever, your cough, and so on. And based on that, you can define your own predictor and predicted variable. Okay. Okay, Adit. Okay. Adit, switch off your camera. Okay, good. So guys, take any problem. For example, let us discuss one more problem. And the problem is if we are having a if we want to try to predict the house price. So here house price will be your predicted variable, and now your house price will be depend on various predictor variables like location, transport facility, house size, whether it's a one room, one bedroom, two bedroom, three bedroom, average demand of the house, and so on. So based on that, please take one problem. We have 5 minutes left, and try to write the problem and predictor variable and predicted variable. If you have any doubt, you can ask the question using the chat box. At least one or two responses from your side. I will mark the attendance based on the Moodle log. So who have accessed the log file of Moodle, their particular activity will be recorded in the Moodle log. So I will take your attendance from there. So if you have accessed this link using the Moodle log, your attendance will be marked. And if you are not able to, you have some internet issues, I will upload the video in the Moodle, and you can access that video. And based on that, I will mark your attendance. Okay, guys. So please write predicted variable and predictor variable for any selected problem. Okay. Okay, very good. Apur has given up a result. So your result will be your problem, and here percentage is your predicted variable, and predictor variable will be the roll number or subject name and so on. Very good, very good. One more responses, one or two responses. One or more responses, please. One more response from your side. There, total 33 students are there. At least 10%. So four responses is expected from your side. You can take a house prediction. You can take a weather prediction. Weather prediction means whether it will rain or not. So it will depend on the moisture. It will depend on the airflow. It will depend on the temperature. It will depend on the humidity. You can also take whether your automatic AC will on or not. So automatic AC will on depend on the temperature, depend on the humidity of the room, depend on the number of person inside the room. Okay, one more response from Khan. Simple interest is a predicted variable and principal time. Okay, very good, very good. So you can see that this is a very basic examples. You do not require to apply a regression modeling here, but you can do that. So for suppose you have taken some variable which is uh, dynamically related to the simple interest or the percentage of result. So you can apply the regression modeling here, but it will be a very basic one. Very good. At least one more response. We have 2 minutes left for the class. Piyush, any response? Yati? Okay, Sandeepan. Price of very good. Very good, very good. Very good. Sandeepan has taken a real-time example. Okay. GDP is a predicted value, then predicted variable can be public sector economy. Okay, Sakshi, that is okay, but how can you measure the public sector economy as a variable? Because I think it is a quite in itself is a um, collection of variable. Okay, okay, nice response from your side. If you have any doubt or question, you can write me to in my email and so on. You can also WhatsApp me. Okay, very good. Okay, okay, guys. Thank you. We'll continue tomorrow.